Hey guys, welcome to Rough Riders. Thanks for stopping by. Last week I was at my house in Austin, and I'm getting ready to do a road trip in my S2000. So I decided to go and do a bunch of fluid changes on that, get it ready for a road trip. So I thought I'd make a couple of quick videos on doing the transmission fluid as well as the rear differential on that, just so you can see how it's done on that car as well. Let me start by showing you how to do the transmission fluid on an S2000. Okay, tools you need for this job. You need a 3/8 inch ratchet to get the drain bolt off. You'll need a 17mm socket to get the fill bolt off. You can do that with the same ratchet and socket if you want, but I've got a 1/2 inch drive there, as you can see, just to get a little more leverage on it. 2 bottles of transmission fluid. I'm using Synchro Mesh. You can use whatever your preference is. Some people like AMSOIL. I've had good luck with the Synchro Mesh. It seems to do a good job. So use whatever your preference is. And then a jug with a pump on it. If you get a pump with the right size threaded cap on it that plugs right into the Synchro Mesh bottles, that would actually probably be a little easier. I didn't have that available at the time, so as I said, this is what I set up a while back, was this pump. So that's what I'm going with. So that's the tools you need for this job. Now, my jack doesn't fit underneath the car because, as you know, the car just sits really, really low. So in order to get my jack underneath the car, I put a couple of 2x4s down on the ground, pull my front tires onto that. Then I've got enough clearance to get my jack under there and start jacking up the front end. To jack the front end up, I just put it underneath the cross member along the front. That's kind of the best place that I found to jack it up and start trying to jack it up one side at a time. And like most cars, you have a reinforced point right here that you can put your jack stands. And there's one front and back end on each side. Okay, to drain and refill the transmission, we've got 2 bolts, much like what we had on the side-by-side. We've got a drain bolt and a fill bolt. You can see here that right there is the drain bolt, and then right up there is the fill bolt. And we're going to pull the fill bolt first because we want to make sure that we can refill the transmission before we drain the fluid out. You don't want to be in a position where you don't have any fluid in your transmission and you can't get any more back in because the bolt is frozen on or whatever the case may be. So we're going to pull that fill bolt first, and then we'll do the drain bolt. Okay, now I'm going to go get a, you can see it's barely dripping. That's exactly what I should see, so that I know when I've got the correct amount of fluid in there as I fill it back up. And we'll show you that more in just a minute, but let me go grab a socket and pull this drain bolt. See, it uses a standard 3/8 inch socket head to it's on there really tight. That fluid actually looks really clean. Which is good. Actually looks really good. Probably didn't need to be changed, but better safe than sorry. So you can see with these bottles, you can't really get the bottle into position to be able to squeeze the fluid into the transmission. So I set this up a while back. I took an old antifreeze jug, cleaned it out really, really well, and then I got a pump for it. And that allows me to get underneath the car and feed that tube into the transmission fill hole and just use the pump to refill the transmission fluid. So let's do that now. So with the fluid drained, we're going to go ahead and put the drain bolt back in. Again, I ended up reusing the crush washer. I would have preferred to replace it, but I'm on a tight schedule. It should be okay though. So we're going to put that in and tighten it down. And I don't have my torque wrench with me either, so I'm just going to have to go by feel and get that nice and snug. But I'll add the torque specs to the video. So you know what to torque it down to if you got your torque wrenches. That should be good right there. Now I can start filling it up through the drain hole right there. I'll leave my drip pan in place and start filling it up with my little jug and pump. Put that in there like that. It should take probably 1 3/4 quarts, just under 2 quarts, I think. All right, there we go. I think we see a drip coming. Yep, there we go. Now we know we got the right amount of fluid in there. And now I can put the fill bolt back on and get that tightened down. Again, I'll post torque specs for this as well. Today we're going by feel. Don't over tighten. Just get it nice and snug. That should be good right there. And that's all there is to that. Next we'll move on to the differential.